Level 1. Response Trainee. You are 19 when the first containment breach alarm begins before your training instructor finishes explaining how not to die. The classroom lights turn red. Every screen in the room displays the same message. Breach in progress. Sector C. Unknown author. Do not engage alone. Half the trainees freeze. One reaches for the rifle locked under his desk. Your instructor slams his hand on the table. If you touch that weapon before you know what breached, you fail. A second alarm appears. Civilian contractor trapped in maintenance hall. The instructor looks directly at you. Response trainee. Tell me the first move. You want to say shoot it. Everyone wants to say shoot it. Instead, you open the site map. Sector C has 3 containment chambers, 2 research rooms, 1 emergency stairwell, and a maintenance hall with no cameras. The contractor's badge is still moving. The unknown entity is not. That means the entity is either hiding, dead, or being misread by the sensors. You assign 2 trainees to seal the north doors, 2 to pull camera backups. You take the emergency medkit and follow the instructor into the hallway. Your first rule becomes real immediately. Rapid response does not mean rushing blindly. It means arriving before panic makes the wrong decision permanent. The maintenance hall is dark. The contractor is behind a locked service panel, whispering through the metal. Do not open the door when it knocks. Something knocks from the inside, 3 times. Then again from behind you, 3 times. The instructor raises 1 finger. Identify. You check the contractor's audio. His voice is coming from the panel. The knocking behind you has no echo. It is being played directly into your hearing. Mimetic mimicry. You switch to visual signals and mark the hallway unsafe. The trainees seal the doors on your order. The instructor cuts the service panel open. The contractor crawls out, shaking. The entity never attacks. It wanted you to open the wrong door. After the breach is contained by a senior team, the instructor reviews your actions. You did not neutralize the anomaly. No. You did not identify it completely. No. But the civilian lived, and the zone stayed sealed. He removes the orange training patch from your shoulder. Beneath it is a gray response badge. Response trainee. Field cleared. Your first real assignment arrives before the adrenaline fades. Containment Wing F has lost camera coverage. A junior guard is trapped inside. The last message from his radio says, I can see myself walking toward me. Your instructor hands you a helmet. Now we find out if you can stay useful when the door opens.
Level 2. Junior Response Officer. You are 22 when you enter Containment Wing F and see the missing guard standing at the far end of the hallway. He is not moving. Your team leader holds up a fist. Everyone stops. The guard's radio signal comes from room F12, 20 meters behind the figure. But the figure wears his uniform, his badge, his face. Your job as Junior Response Officer is not to solve the anomaly. Your job is to keep the team alive long enough for someone smarter to solve it. You check the floor. No blood, no footprints except yours. No movement on thermal. The figure at the end of the hallway has the right face, but no body heat. Your team leader whispers through the radio, Call it. Decoy. The figure smiles. Then every light in the corridor turns off. Something begins running toward you. You hear boots, breathing, gear shaking. Your instincts say fire, but the mission board listed no hostile entity, only a missing guard and visual duplication. You drop a flare instead.
The corridor fills with red light. Nothing is there. The running sound continues past you and stops beside room F12. Inside, the real guard screams. The anomaly is not copying bodies. It is copying urgency. It creates the sound of a threat, so responders fire, retreat, or open doors too soon. You order the team to ignore all audio unless confirmed visually. The team leader does not repeat your order. He obeys it. That tells you how serious the moment is. You reach room F12. The real guard is trapped inside with his own reflection standing in the observation glass. He's been staring at it for 6 minutes. His pulse is dangerously high. If you break the glass, the reflection may transfer. If you leave him, panic may kill him. You cover the observation window with a ballistic shield. The reflection disappears. The guard collapses. You drag him out while the hallway screams in 5 different voices. One sounds like your instructor. One sounds like the guard. One sounds like you. Open the door. Leave him. Fire. You keep moving by watching hand signals only. At the extraction point, the team leader finally speaks. Good call. The breach report credits the full team. Your name appears in one line. Junior officer maintained signal discipline under auditory manipulation. It feels small. Then the recovered guard visits the response bay the next day. He does not remember your face. He only remembers the shield covering the glass. That was you? You nod. He shakes your hand with both of his. Your badge updates 2 weeks later. Junior Response Officer. The next alert comes from outside the site. A suburban house has folded into 3 different floor plans at once. Local police are already inside. Foundation cover teams are 12 minutes away. Your unit is closest. For the first time, you respond before containment exists.
Level 3, Rapid Response Operative.
You are 27 when your team enters a civilian house and the hallway decides it is a hospital. The front door opens into a living room. The living room opens into a hospital corridor. The hospital corridor opens back into the same living room, but older, furniture rotting, wallpaper burned, family photos showing people who were never born. 3 police officers are missing inside. A child is crying somewhere behind the walls. As a rapid response operative, your mission is immediate stabilization. Save civilians. Mark the anomaly. Prevent public exposure. Do not turn a strange house into a dead neighborhood. Your squad lays guideline through the front door. You mark each room with colored tags. Green for safe, yellow for unstable, red for do not enter. The house ignores them. A green-tagged kitchen becomes a stairwell. A red bathroom becomes the child's bedroom. The team medic finds the first police officer sitting under a table, repeating an address from 1983. He thinks he is 9 years old. You inject a light amnestic stabilizer and move him to the extraction line. The second officer is behind a door that opens only when nobody looks at it. Your partner suggests using a mirror. You refuse. After the reflection case in Wing F, you no longer trust useful surfaces. Instead, you assign one operator to blink in a timed pattern while the rest track the door by airflow. It opens during the 3rd blink. You pull the officer out. Then the guideline goes slack. The front door has disappeared. Your squad is now inside a structure that remembers every version of itself and cannot decide which one is real. The child cries again, this time closer. You find him inside a nursery that should not fit inside the building. He is holding a toy house. Every room he touches on the toy changes around you. The anomaly is not the house. It is the child's grief. His parents died in the original fire. The house is rebuilding every possible version where that did not happen. Your commander orders extraction. You have 6 minutes before local media arrives. You kneel beside the child. You cannot keep all the houses. He shakes his head. This one has them. In the toy house, 2 small figures stand in the kitchen. You do not destroy it. You ask him to choose one room, one memory, one place that can stay. He chooses the kitchen. The impossible hallways collapse into a single burned house. The kitchen remains untouched. Your team extracts the child and all 3 officers. The Foundation later classifies the toy, not the boy. Your commander asks why you did not break it. Because it was holding the structure together. And if you were wrong, then we would have died faster. He almost smiles. That is not the worst answer I have heard. Your promotion comes quietly. Rapid Response Operative. Your next deployment is not civilian. It is Site 88. Multiple containment doors have opened at once. The internal security team is requesting Breach Response Command.
Level 4. Breach Containment Specialist. You are 33 when 12 containment doors open and only 11 anomalies leave their chambers. Site 88 is already in lockdown when your team arrives. Emergency shutters divide the corridors into sealed blocks. Researchers are trapped in labs. Security teams are holding intersections. A voice on the site speakers repeats, "All personnel remain calm." That is how you know the system is compromised. No Foundation site tells people to remain calm unless something is trying to measure fear. As Breach Containment Specialist, your job is pattern recognition under pressure. Not every open door matters equally. Not every escaped anomaly is the cause. You pull the chamber list. 12 doors opened, 11 entities moved. 1 chamber is empty. It has always been empty. No object number, no containment notes, no assigned researcher. Yet the door opened with the others. You ask why an empty chamber has power. No one answers. The site's local commander wants all teams focused on visible anomalies. A predatory shadow in the cafeteria, a hostile statue in storage, a researcher speaking in 3 voices. You assign squads to slow them, not finish them. Then you take your team to the empty chamber. Inside is a chair, a microphone, and a speaker connected to the site announcement system. The anomaly is not one of the escaped objects. It is the emergency message. Every time the system says "remain calm," personnel suppress fear. Every suppressed reaction is collected, amplified, and used to open more locks. The breach feeds on forced composure. You order all announcements shut down. The message continues. It is no longer coming from speakers. It is coming from every radio. Your partner starts breathing too evenly, too controlled. You slap the radio from his vest. He gasps like he was underwater. You issue a new command on open channel. Stop calming down. Confusion spreads across the response teams. Repeat. Panic manually. Say what you see. Report fear out loud. It sounds insane. It works. Personnel begin speaking honestly. I am scared. Something is outside the door. I do not want to die in storage. The anomaly loses pressure. Locks stop cycling. The 11 escaped entities are recontained one by one. When the final door seals, the empty chamber remains open. The microphone turns on by itself. Your own voice comes through it. You should have stayed calm. You destroy the microphone. Later, the report says your tactic was psychologically hazardous but operationally effective. The site commander calls it reckless. Your team calls it the reason they survived. The next week, your badge changes.
Breach Containment Specialist. With the new clearance comes a sealed file. MTF Epsilon 11 is unavailable. A violent hostile anomaly has breached at an off-map storage facility. Your unit is the nearest rapid response team. Estimated survival time after entry? 9 minutes.
Level 5, Response Sergeant. You are 38 when the transport helicopter touches down on a facility that officially does not exist. No lights, no visible staff, no distress signal. Only a repeating automatic message. Storage failure. Biological asset active. Your squad checks weapons, anchors, medical kits, sealant charges, and amnestic injectors. As Response Sergeant, you are no longer the person waiting for orders. You are the one turning incomplete information into movement. 6 operators, 1 medic, 1 containment engineer, 1 unknown hostile entity. 9 minutes estimated survival. You enter through the freight lift. The first body is not dead. It is standing against the wall, breathing once every 40 seconds. The medic moves forward. You stop him. The body's eyes track sound, not motion. Every time someone speaks, its fingers twitch. You switch the squad to hand signals. The facility map shows 4 storage vaults. 3 contain sealed, anomalous material. The 4th is listed as temporary biological holding. Temporary means somebody expected this to leave quickly. Biological means somebody lied to the transport crew. You reach the observation deck. Below, the entity moves through the vault. It wears pieces of every person it has touched, not as trophies, as functioning organs. A guard's lungs, a researcher's hands, a technician's eyes. It is not killing randomly. It is building a body that can survive outside containment. The containment engineer whispers one word before remembering silence. Fire? The entity turns toward the glass. It heard him. The 9-minute estimate becomes wrong immediately. The entity climbs. You split the team. 2 operators escort survivors. The engineer prepares vault sealant. You and your partner hold the observation deck. The entity reaches the glass and speaks with 3 stolen voices. Open the door, and I return them. Your partner freezes. One voice belongs to his brother, reported dead in this facility 6 months ago. You give him one order through hand signal. Do not listen. He lowers his weapon anyway. The entity places a hand against the glass. His brother's face forms beneath the skin. You step between them. Then you shoot the glass beside the entity, not the entity itself. The containment foam detonates outward. The vault fills with hardening sealant. The entity loses its grip and falls back into the chamber. Your partner hates you for the next 30 seconds. Then the seal completes. The stored organs stop moving. The survivors are evacuated. Your report lists 1 emotional compromise prevented. No names. Your partner reads it later and says nothing. 2 days pass before he speaks to you. Thank you for not writing it. You answer honestly. I almost did. Your badge updates. Response Sergeant. The next assignment comes from Site Command directly. 3 simultaneous breaches. 1 response team. You have to choose which door gets help first. 9 minutes. Level 6, Response Lieutenant. You are 42 when 3 breach alarms sound and each one claims to be the real emergency. Containment Wing A reports a Euclid-class entity moving towards staff quarters. Wing D reports a mimetic infection spreading through security cameras. Sub-Level 6 reports a power failure inside a Keter containment system. You have 1 rapid response unit ready. Other teams are 6 minutes out.
As response lieutenant, your first weapon is priority. Choose wrong, and people die in the correct corridor while you save the wrong one. You open all 3 feeds. Wing A shows movement. Wing D shows infected camera frames. Sublevel 6 shows nothing because its cameras are offline. That makes commanders favor Wing A. Visible threat, clear path, immediate fear. You ask one question. Which alarm started first? Sublevel 6. The power failure triggered 13 seconds before the others. Then Wing D, then Wing A. A cascading distraction. The Keter system fails in 4 minutes. You send the main team to Sublevel 6. Site Command objects. There are civilians in staff quarters. There will be no site if Sublevel 6 opens. You assign 2 operators to Wing A with noise decoys. For Wing D, you order every camera feed frozen and replaced with last known safe frames. No one watches the infection spread. Then you enter Sublevel 6. The containment door is still sealed. The backup generators are running. The power failure is fake. Your engineer scans the lock. Something is drawing current from the inside. The anomaly inside containment is powering the other emergencies. It is using the site's response protocols to decide where defenders go. Every alarm is a vote. Every team movement teaches it priority. You cut command access to your unit. From now on, it cannot read your decisions. The entity reacts by opening Wing A's inner doors. Your 2 operators report contact. You nearly redirect. That is what it wants. You hold position. The engineer installs a manual breaker while you and your squad defend the containment corridor from systems turning against you. Fire doors slam. Lights overload. The floor becomes electrified. Your medic is injured, dragging the engineer clear. The manual breaker locks. Power separates. Wing A doors freeze half open. The camera infection stops updating. Sublevel 6 stabilizes. When the next teams arrive, all 3 incidents are containable. Site Command reviews your choice. You ignored 2 active breaches. I refused the order the 3rd breach wanted me to make. Your medic survives. Your 2 operators in Wing A survive. The lieutenant badge arrives with no ceremony. Response Lieutenant. Your new posting is a permanent command station overlooking 5 sites. The first message on your screen is from MTFXI-13. They are already deployed. They need someone to coordinate extraction before their rapid response becomes a last stand.
Level 7, Rapid Response Commander. You are 47 when an entire MTF unit disappears from the map for 26 seconds and returns with 1 extra member. The operation board shows 5 Foundation sites, 3 active field teams, and a storm of emergency codes. MTF Xi-13 responded first to an unidentified anomalous event in an abandoned city district. Their mission was simple: arrive fast, identify the threat, hold the zone until specialists arrived. Now their trackers show 12 operators. They deployed with 11. The extra signal uses a valid Foundation tag. No name, no history, no biometric record. As Rapid Response Commander, you no longer enter every breach. You decide what the people inside it are allowed to risk. Xi-13 requests extraction. Specialists request continued observation. The local site director wants the district sterilized before the anomaly spreads. You open helmet feeds. The streets repeat every 90 meters. Buildings contain rooms from other cities. An operator turns a corner and sees himself entering from the opposite side. The extra member appears only in reflections on broken windows.
Your old cases return in fragments, voices that imitate urgency, hallways that copy fear, systems that learn from response. You order Xi-13 to stop using formation names. No Alpha, no Bravo, no call signs. Every label gives the extra member a place to fit. The commander on the ground obeys instantly. That is why Xi-13 is still alive. The extra tracker begins shifting between operators. It is not a person. It is an empty slot in the team, trying to become official through procedure. If extraction lists include it, it leaves with them. If the district is sterilized, the real operators may die with it. You create a new extraction rule. No one leaves by tag, only by direct visual confirmation from 2 teammates. Golden rule adapted for a hostile roster. The extra signal panics. All tracker data becomes unreliable. Your command screens fill with 12 identical icons. You switch to audio. Each real operator must say one memory from before deployment. The entity copies voices, but not lived detail. 10 pass. 11 pass. The 12th says nothing. You mark the silent signal as non-human. Xi-13 exits through the emergency corridor. The district collapses inward behind them. One specialist complains you lost research value. The Xi-13 commander sends a private message. 11 entered, 11 returned. That is the only metric that matters. Your command badge updates. Rapid Response Commander. The final file arrives from the O5 Council. A global breach cascade is beginning. Every rapid response unit will be deployed. Your job is no longer saving one site. It is deciding which disasters humanity can survive losing.
Level 8. Director of Rapid Response Operations. You are 53 when every major Foundation site receives a breach alert at the same time. Site 19, Site 17, Site 88. A storage facility in the desert, a biological site under the ocean, 3 mobile containment convoys, 1 civilian city where the veil is already tearing. The emergency board becomes a wall of red. Every commander requests rapid response. Every request says immediate. Every request is correct. As Director of Rapid Response Operations, you command the teams that arrive before anyone understands the disaster. You do not have enough people. You do not have enough aircraft. You do not have enough specialists. You have 90 seconds before the first site locks down permanently. The obvious choice is to protect the Keter chambers. The political choice is to protect the city. The emotional choice is to protect the sites where your teams are already trapped. You force yourself to read the pattern. The first alert came from the underwater biological site, then the convoys, then Site 88, then the city. The cascade is not random. It is moving through emergency response requests. Every time a site calls for help, the anomaly uses the connection to open another breach. The response network itself is infected. Your deputy asks if you want to shut it down. If you do, isolated teams lose command support. If you do not, the cascade continues. You cut the central network. Then you rebuild command manually. Independent cells, local authority, no shared alert language, no universal breach code. Every site receives different instructions based on its own threat. The anomaly loses the pattern. But now, you must make the choices alone. You send heavy units to the underwater site because biological spread cannot be allowed into open water. You send containment engineers to the convoys because moving anomalies become public disasters. You send disinformation and evacuation teams to the city because saving the veil means nothing if civilians die in silence.
Site 19 requests elite support. You deny it. They have internal defenses. Site 88 requests extraction. You approve it. They do not. One commander accuses you of sacrificing personnel. You do not argue. You are. Rapid response has always been a cruel equation. Arrive first, decide fast. Live with what the map looks like afterward. 6 hours later, the cascade stops. 2 sites are damaged. 1 convoy is lost. The city believes it survived a chemical fire. The underwater breach is sealed. Most of humanity never knows how close the world came to seeing everything. Your deputy brings the casualty list. You read every name. Some were trainees. Some were commanders. One was your old partner. The report asks for a final classification. Successful response. Partial failure. Ongoing threat. You select all 3. Years later, you watch a new class through one-way glass. 6 trainees stand in a locked room. One person appears colder than the others. Suspicion moves fast. A 19-year-old recruit ignores the obvious target and searches for the mechanism shaping the room. They find the hidden object. They do not shoot. They do not freeze. They respond. You press the intercom. Welcome to the rapid response team. The first alarm begins before you finish speaking.